Greetings, my fellow freedom loving sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LO3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy Megalo, South Florida. And today's date is Friday, April 9th, 2021. Make sure I get that accurate now, okay? Woo, man. So, just dawns on me. People with the same game of recycled pus. My gang is better than yours. My idea has a better point than yours, etc. All by listening to the bobbleheads from either side. The technocrats are getting their rocks off on this as well. Many people are taking the vaccines, and the FDA proves there was it hasn't been approved and there's no guarantees. But, better be safe than sorry. You might have to get one to keep your job. So when you have that mindset, folks, you're just telling everyone you sold your rear ends to technocracy. I always said this many things before. Every infection has an Achilles heel. But you got so many folks out there whoring around, eating like a bunch of slobs, consuming all this garbage, whether it's spiritual, intellectual, and be dumb, stagnant, and happy. Man. Something like I scratching my head like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Bizarro's my Lord and Savior. Assumption is truth. Fact are lies. And like-minded people are conspiracy theorists, or insane, or outcasts. Where's your tinfoil hat, Junior? That's what I've been getting. And it really baffles me. Some of these people claim to be punk rockers and mavericks, and they stick it to me, baby. That's out the window. And it's a real shame. However, like I said before, I recommend folks, it's from Mike Adams from Natural News. They all call him the right-wing conspiracy theorist. Non-inflammatory diet. Wow, so I just everyone believes they're awake, and look what happens. They do things half-assed backwards. God bless fear. All hail to technocracy. Big Brother is my role model. When he said bend over, I go, how far, please? I just hope and pray a lot of people won't get these big bad side effects, even the ones I care about. You're just getting in the hands of Bill Gates and their pharmaceutical lackeys by taking this free shot that hasn't been approved by the Food and Drug Administration. Even President Trump. You gotta do the emergencies. Magic lamp theory. Bing! Instead of focusing on your diet, your health, being active. No, they always want to do the same old thing. Don't worry, drink Kool-Aid. The Jim Jones legacy has been enhanced around the world. And you can now, when Benjamin Netanyahu says every Israeli has to get a COVID pass, you should be going, Hail Netanyahu! Hail Netanyahu! Sieg Hail! Sieg Hail! Then they'll say I'm being anti-Semitic? No way in hell. I know one thing for sure. The Third Reich are climaxing in their graves. And many of these tyrannical sons of bitches in the 20th century at the least. Excuse my language, but it is just very insulting. You let fear control your lives. You haven't learned anything about 9/11. Shame on every single one of you. That went, okay, boss. Yes, we all choose our battles wisely, and we all made our errors in life. We've all been bamboozled one way or the other. But the people in my demographics went, okay, boss, shoot me, boss. It's all great, boss. House and field peasants. I believe in freedom of choice, but don't let the anxiety attack distort your intellect. If you haven't learned from the past, you're damned to repeat it, and a lot of folks have. So, I just get distraught. I'm very disappointed with a lot of people, the ones I love to. They're all going to build up, oh, you got to keep your job. Oh, hey, you know what? So bend over for management, bend over for authority, turn the other cheek and they tread you over. You have a flag on your front door that says, tread on me. We're having an ostrich with their head in the ground. Folks still believe the people are dying because of COVID. Follow the money, people. Follow it. A lot of you haven't. You just love to step in the same bear trap repeatedly. And is even now talking about potential World War III may start in Ukraine. Yep. You know who's drooling in their grave? Zbigniew Brzezinski. He wrote the book, The Grand Chessboard. Doesn't matter which side of the paradigm that goes. NATO, Soviet Union, China. The order, the technocrats are getting off and they're doing their seances to this wicked individual. And of course, people believe, oh yeah, we gotta get rid of guns. Joe Biden said we shouldn't have 100 rounds. He can't even don't even know what the AFT, what the hell is that? And there's people out there, oh yeah, we gotta ban them. Heel bono, who benefits? You're gonna trust the government? It's gonna blow back in your faces, folks. Many of you listeners out there know I've been talking about this for a very long time. Going back to the half-assed way. Don't learn anything. Just let it repeat. Rinse and repeat. Truth, justice, and the goody two-shoes way. We should all be wearing, people with that mindset, with all I said aforementioned, should all be wearing shackles and chains. And go, Anthony Johnson's my master. Jim Crow 5.0 on all of humanity. Well, I'm going to end it from there because I don't want to digress the daylights out of you. However, the whole thing is, I don't get mad, I get inspired. So I don't let my anger get me, I get ticked off, but I get inspired. So thank you for dealing with this rant. All right, I'm going to talk about one topic here. And it's entitled, by the American Conservative, believe it or not. It's entitled 20 Years of the War on Terror. A citizen journalist marks a grim anniversary. And this was written by Hunter Durinis. Enough Already, The Time to End the War on Terrorism by Scott Horton, the Libertarian Institute. Page 333 pages. Yeah, check it out. We're approaching the 20th anniversary of the global war on terror when the George W. Bush administration made a decision to ruin the 21st century. Trillions of dollars spent, a permanent and expanding war bureaucracy on our shores, upwards of 1 million civilians dead, tens of millions more displaced, entire regions of the globe destabilized, and the American people no safer than they were on September 10th, when the immensity of the nefariousness is laid bare, a normal man is tempted. In the words of satirical cynic H.L. Mencken, to spit on his hand, hoist the black flag, and begin slitting throats. This is the conclusion when one finishes Scott Horton's already ready, enough already, time to end the war on terrorism, which stands as the most irrefutable, argued, and damning indictment of modern U.S. policy yet written. Published on the anniversary of Operation Desert Storm, its release date is a distressing reminder. With a brief respite from 2011 to 2014, the United States has been bombing Iraq continuously for 30 years. Add Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, and a dozen other countries. And the cascade of errors and worse can overwhelm the reader. Indefatigable localist writer, a TAC luminary, Bill Kaufman, once called the unasked question of American foreign policy: what does this war mean for my block and my neighborhood, my town? Horton's answer is biting as it is accurate, is that the American people have gained nothing from the war on terrorism beyond perhaps increasingly necessary technological advancements in the manufacture of prosthetic limbs. The schizophrenic demeanor of Uncle Sam is summarized succinctly, there. The U.S. backed in the Arab Afghan mercenaries and terrorists and then fought them. Backed Saddam Hussein and then fought him. Backed the Taliban and then fought them. Worked for Saddam, then fought him. Fought Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Backed them and then fought them again. Worked with Gaddafi, Assad, and the Houthis against Al-Qaeda, then fought all of them too, for Al-Qaeda. Does this sound right to you? According to majorities of Republicans, Democrats, veterans, and every other polled demographic, that does not sound right. If there is one through line in enough already, it is contempt that the managerial elite hold for the average American and his antiquated loyalty to fellow citizens. In the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, should the focus of the United States have been apprehending Osama bin Laden and those responsible, I don't know where he is. You know, I just don't spend that much time on him. President Bush said after his obstinance allowed the terrorist leader to escape from Tora Bora, I truly am not that concerned about him. Should the U.S. military be used as a tool to knock off secular dictators, adversely advancing the strategic goals of either the Islamic Republic of Iran or Sunni jihadists? Yes, according to every think tank report produced in Washington or Tel Aviv in the 1990s and the 2000s. Should the American government provide training, weapons, and money to terrorists sworn to loyal to Ayman al-Zawahiri, the butcher of New York City, in the most treasonous operation since the Rosenbergs? Try to ask late John McCain, who took selfies with the Northern Storm Brigade in Syria just a year after their members were shooting. American servicemen in Iraq, or Foreign Affairs, the flagship journal of the Council on Foreign Relations, which published numerous articles with innocuous titles like Accepting Al-Qaeda. Horton represents the pinnacle of citizen journalism, a man outside major media institutions who feel more comfortable at a skate park than a newsroom. When the Washington Post op-ed page was disseminating disinformation about WMDs in Iraq, Horton was debunking aluminum tribes to any stranger who transited his taxicabs on the way to the Austin airport. The disparity between Horton's history of U.S. foreign policy and the narrative perpetuated by the corporate press is depicted in an exchange between the author and Charlie Savage, probably the second or third least worst reporter at the Times. When confronted by his publication circulation of a false report about Russian bounties on U.S. troops in Afghanistan, Savage counseled Horton, "I think you have overlearned the lessons of the pre-Iraq war reporting failures almost 20 years ago and see that dynamic as the norm rather than the aberration that it was." May all sensible Americans overlearn the lesson of the Iraq War. According to Horton, the lessons are, these wars are already lost. There is no victory or stable peace to be had in any of them. If the U.S. must stay until its goals have been accomplished, then it is not opposition or skepticism, but a blank writ for another 2 decades of war. The path towards absolution is clear. Sweep aside the insufferable practitioners who scorn our nation, stop invading other countries, end the drone war, abandon the quest for universal empire, bring our troops home, and be satisfied with the advice of the great statesman of Idaho, William Borah, who told us to hold fast to those political principles and foreign policies, what others call provincialism. Provincialism, but which we call Americanism. Yep. Of course, communication director for Bring Our Troops Home U.S. Absolutely. And I've known about Scott Horton's work for a very long time, and he's right. Foreign entanglements are very dangerous. George Washington and many other the founding fathers agreed on that. Of course, former Congressman Ron Paul, but they all laughed at him. Oh, the neocons, neoquacks out there. And he still want to continue on the war machine. Ain't that beautiful? But we're still got to get rid of our firearms. Get rid of our natural rights, because we're not competent enough. Because they say so? Please. We got nut jobs everywhere we go in all walks of life. But why should we have a collective punishment? We're not little kids. We're not in elementary school or a nursery school. I remember at a time when I was in my elementary school in 5th grade, a couple guys took too long in the bathrooms. Then we have to ask, only the guys have to ask permission to use the bathroom. During that bathroom breaks, the girls get in, but we have to have permission? Come on. How about Jim Crowism on a gender basis? Not anymore. As I don't buy this propaganda machine from all these parasites, regardless if they're Democrat or Republicans, etc. That's why I say, Kia bono who benefits. When you see all the shebang with the wars, the war on terror, from 9/11, COVID-19, etc. It was time for all of us to tell the technocrats to stick it. And if these politicians want to go to war, throw their puss-bag bodies in the front line. We'll see how tough they are. Don't worry, I let them know all the time. I call up some of my senators in Florida and the House of Representatives. If they want to go to war, I call them out and say, hey, give me a ring. Here's my number. I want to talk to you about it. It's time to stop being an empire and be a constitutional republic once again. Centralization is dangerous. Globalism leads to blowback. The past is today's greatest teacher. We need to comprehend it thoroughly. Let's end the war on terror. I agree with Mr. Horton and Hunter Durinis. And that will be it. I'll thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or send something interesting, want to check it out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Corn. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnote of this article on my speaker page and support Hunter Durenis, American Conservative, in Scott Horton. And the Institute Enterprise is called. Liberty Institute, it's called? Yeah, Liberty Institute. Let me just check this out one more time. Yep, looks like I hit. Hold on here. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. Libertarian Institute. So definitely check it out. You may hear a few pops here and there. That's okay. So, if you want to email me, you can, you hit me at lookyourluck03@protonmail.com. Or if you want to send donations, hit me at paypal.me or cash.app/lookyourluck3. And if you want to donate to the other individuals, like I addressed, aforementioned, that'd be great. Because one thing I tell people, we want to put out the truth the best we can, and we're doing it on the basis of principle. Once again, thank you for your time, but always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.